If you're looking to find the 5 marketing books that I recommend everybody read, look no further, because this is the video for that. Now imagine you can extract all the information from the world's greatest marketing minds and put them into your brain. Well, that's essentially what I see reading as for me. So remember book number 1, I'm going to get right into these. Like, I waste no time on this channel. If this is your first time, make sure to come back if you're looking to start and grow your marketing career, because that's all I talk about. So Permission Marketing by Seth Godin, Building a Story Brand by Donna Miller. Next one's a deep cut. You probably never have heard of this one. This one is Pigeonhole Yourself by Jonathan Stark. It is like ebook level stuff, but it's such a good book, and I'll explain why. Then we have They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. And then we have .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. You've probably heard of that one. Everybody's heard of that one or been slapped in the face with an ad from Russell Brunson. But I'm going to share why I like each of these books and why I recommend them, whether you're starting or growing in your marketing career. All these books are books that I have read multiple times, and I go back again and again to for nuggets of wisdom. And it's crazy if you think about it, right? Like, marketing books are like $20 or less. If you go on Amazon, go to the used section, it's like $5, and you get all this information. These people have gone through wins, losses, learnings, trials, tribulations, and you can literally learn from them. And I love using books as a way to speed up the pace at which I can learn, and then ultimately see new ways to solve problems that I'm currently facing, whether it's in my business, in the agency I work at, with clients, wherever. It just allows you to solve the problems you're facing. Just look at them from a different angle. So the reason I chose Permission Marketing by Seth Godin is because this is an older classic, and it's all about the premise of you got to get people's permission for them to market to you, and or for you to market to them. And if you get their permission to market to them, likely chances are they're going to actually be more interested in hearing from you and ultimately buying from you. Now, this was revolutionary when the age of email newsletters and all that was coming out, and it's actually making a resurgence now with the rise of social media platforms, but then social media platforms losing their reach for certain people, or people being shadow banned, or all those things. Like, social media is amazing to grow an organic audience, but that audience can evaporate overnight or become an audience that you have to pay to reach. So it's all about the fact of you need to have people's permission and people who want to hear from you in order to get them to buy from you. So it's just a great way to look at earning people's trust on the internet. So I recommend that read first. Next, you're going to go to Building a Story Brand. Now, there's 7 elements of every story. Each of those elements came from the 7 plots of story, which was a huge book, like an 800-page book. Donald Miller, who used to run, he wrote Blue Like Jazz. He was an author. He did a bunch of other things before he got into the marketing space, and ultimately built up a company called Story Brand. It was a conference as well, I believe, called Storyline, and then Story Brand was his company, and then he made these things called brand scripts, which had the 7 elements of every story, which was a character who has a problem, who that problem has 3 levels. Then they meet a guide, who the guide in the story helps the hero, which is the character, overcome their problem. Then they give them a plan, usually a 3-step plan. That plan, then they call them to action, which in a direct way and in an indirect way. And then that either ends in success or failure, because nobody likes to go to the movies to just watch the person win. They want to know that there's something at stake. So he basically takes this Story Brand 7-step framework and adopts it to businesses and says, hey, look, like, most people position themselves as the hero in the story, but really what you should do is position yourself as the guide so that your customer can be the hero, so that you can ultimately help them overcome the bad guy in their life. And that's what you're protecting them. You're helping them from failure. You're helping them get success. If you don't use my window washing service, you're going to go with somebody who's going to ruin your windows, and you're going to have to replace your windows and all of those things. So that's what Story Brand is all about. I've used that so many times with different clients. It's so helpful for clarifying your message so that people engage, which is this whole hook. But it's such a helpful piece to be able to clarify the story so that you can use in ads, email, website, everything. That's probably my favorite book out of this list, but I still put Permission Marketing first out of the respect I have for Seth Godin. So Pigeonhole Yourself is a book that is by a guy named Jonathan Stark. He was a consultant for developers, and he helped them get clients and all of that stuff and grow their businesses. But then he also wrote this book called Pigeonhole Yourself. It's all about niching down and being the thing that people think about when they think of that thing. So if they think chiropractor, who do you think of? You probably have a chiropractor in your life. How do you pigeonhole yourself so that when people think of something and they have a specific problem, you are the person that they think of first. So it's a whole 60-page ebook. I think I paid $30 for it or $29 for it. I've read it so many times, but it's all about niching down, and I'm just a huge proponent of that, especially for brands as they're getting started and they're just ramping up. Whether you're e-commerce, lead gen, B2B, whatever it is, niche down, focus on a very specific audience and scale from there. If you look at Amazon did books. You've all heard the examples of, Amazon focused on books, and most businesses that you look at that have scaled to what they are today focus on a very narrow industry. Facebook focus on college students. As you start off, it's helpful to focus and pigeonhole yourself so that you give yourself these constraints for who you're going to serve. So ultimately, you make something that serves them well. Then they ask you answer. Now, this one's kind of more of a broad stroke book. This one, it can be applied for lots of different industries, but the whole premise of this book is people have questions. They search those questions on the internet. So why not be the person that answers those questions? And I believe it's been a while since I've read this one, but I believe there's 5 different areas where, there's people ask questions about price. They ask questions about which one is the best. They ask questions about common problems. Then they look for testimonials. And then I think the last one is I'm forgetting what the last one is. Yeah, but anyways, there's these 5 buckets. And so you want to basically create answers to those questions in these 5 buckets, because that's most likely what people are going to be asking about. Now, Marcus Sheraton was a pool company installation owner. So he owned a company that did pools. He worked in a company doing pools, and then he started writing articles online, YouTube videos, answering common questions, and then that blew up, and then he built this whole framework around They Ask You Answer. So it's such an awesome book for brands more in the B2B space that have a lot of competitors and people just looking to get answers to questions. And you can be the person answering those questions. Or if you're in a small business, local business, that's a great book to read. I'd recommend starting there if you're doing local business. Next is .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Now, this book essentially takes a lot of the stuff I've talked about, pigeonhole yourself and building a story brand, and even They Ask You Answer, and it just kind of takes a lot of those marketing concepts and gives you all the frameworks in one book. And so it's a great book to just get a primer on everything. If you're new in marketing and looking to start and grow your marketing career, I would say if you're starting, read .com Secrets first. It's a great read to just get a primer on all things marketing, how things work, how to calculate your cost per lead, and how the funnels work, and just how to story tell, how to niche down with the Dream 100. It's a great book if you're just starting. If you're looking to grow your career, I would say building a story brand and permission marketing is more of a little deeper cut, or a little 201, 301 books, where .com Secrets 101 book. And ultimately, any of these books that you pick up, if you like, more of a if you like basically more hacky stuff, you're gonna like .com Secrets. Pick that up, go ahead and start reading that. And I just recommend committing to one book and then just kind of going through that, studying those concepts for a month, and then starting to apply them in your own marketing career as you look to grow and scale businesses. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm always looking to learn more and connect, from you all here. So share your favorite marketing book in the comments below. I'd love to hear what they are, and I know the community would love that as well. And go ahead and check out one of these videos. YouTube is recommending those videos on my behalf. So I'll see you in the next video, but go ahead and check out those in the meantime. Peace.